After the video about the Yamaha MODX on how to connect it with the iPad, the question arose whether I could also show this with the Kronos, and I would like to catch up on that today. It took a little while, and I apologize for that. So I have here the internal A combination, which is completely empty. This is an initial combination. I have muted everything here, so you can see that when I play on the Kronos, nothing comes out. When I turn this on here, we hear the piano. I'll leave it off now, so we can distinguish where each sound is coming from. I'll just open the Korg module here. And I have connected it with a USB-B to USB-C cable because I have an iPad Pro. You can use the USB-C cable for that. If you have an older iPad, you need to use the Apple Camera Connection Kit and connect it that way. But it works just the same. I've done it that way too. Now, strings are already set up because I had opened the thing earlier. Now I'll play once, and no sound comes out. Why is that? And now here with Newton, nothing comes either. I'll just start explaining a few things that are somewhat peculiar to the Kronos. I now have the MIDI global channel here, so click on global, then down here on MIDI, I have MIDI channel 15. This actually has the reason from the past, because I had set up and arranged my equipment in such a way that it made sense to use global channel 15 for the Korg Kronos. Let's click up here, and then we see, if I click further here, on Omni. Again, not. Actually, I had Omni here earlier. Now it doesn't do it anymore, which is quite funny. So, exactly Omni. Nothing comes either. If I tell you now that just when I forgot to record the sound, there was already sound at this point, you probably believe me. But I also couldn't understand why that just happened. We are now in the combination. Now I click on external here. Remove the mute and still nothing comes. Now I go to external 2 and still nothing comes. Now we go under timbre parameter and see what happens there. Under MIDI channel 1. Here I have set Omni, so it should actually work. Now the question is, what happened that it doesn't work, because it really doesn't get any MIDI signal here, and here I play a note, so something should actually come. I'll just pull out the USB-C cable. Still nothing comes. Still nothing comes. Okay, did the iPad Module Pro perhaps freeze? I'll close it briefly. If it runs, it doesn't run at all. Let's open it again. So now it definitely works. We'll go back to off here again. You can also see that it connected. It obviously didn't just now. Exactly. And now sound is coming through. And this is a peculiarity of the Kronos that actually irritated me a lot at the beginning and also drove me a bit crazy. It still sends. So it sends now, even though I have everything turned off here. And where does it send? It sends now here on the global 15, and we can see that here. I have set it to Omni here. If I now set it to channel 1 here, nothing comes through anymore. If I now set it to 1, set the global, it comes through again. I'll leave it on 15 now so we can continue. So if I now switch it to external here, again, it was on channel 1, external. Nothing comes through. External 2. Nothing comes through. Let's unmute it. External 2, something comes through. External 1 also has something coming through. External 1. And 2, I believe I explained this in another video, essentially differ in what I can send. If I go into global mode here, under MIDI, I can send certain things under external 1. And here under external 2 as well. But for playing it doesn't matter. What do we do fundamentally to play it? First of all, the connection is very simple for MIDI. Now let's look further. Where does the sound come from? The sound now comes from, because the iPad has recognized the Korg as an audio interface directly. And for that, you can go, there are two options. Either you go here to audio in, and then you see that it is grayed out. You can turn it off up here, because it uses the global setting, which you set under global. This means it uses the same settings in every performance. Here you see USB 1, USB 2. And now, of course, you can't see it on mine. Actually can't see it here because I turned it off. We turn them on again for a moment. Where did that go? DA level on, off. If we go back into the combo under program select, and now it has no sound again. And I wonder what happened. It's because now I'm going again. No, now watch out. Now I'll show you internally first. So down here you can see the level. I go back to external and then I go back into audio. And that's because I haven't selected an input. So I haven't chosen an output. I now select L and R here. And then you hear something again. Let's go through it again from the beginning so that it's clear. When I have the global setting here, it takes over what I have done in the global setting. And for that, I go under global and then go here under audio. And then we see here that I have LR here and a certain level here. This applies to all performances if I don't override it in the combination. And I do that by turning this off here. Here, the select output. I can also route this to any other output or to the internal effects. That means theoretically I could take a sound here. And I can route them through the good effects of the Kronos again if I want to, where one could argue about which are better. And so now I have played this sound, and with an internal sound I can of course mix it very easily. Here, channel 1. I also have a dust-tan pedal somewhere. And that's about it. Now the interesting part is whether you only use Korg modules or if you use a different setup. So whether you use a host here, like Camelot for example, then the whole thing will run a bit differently, of course. I can also gladly show that again if there is interest. But for now you can easily connect the Module Pro or any other single synth. We can do it again with another one here. Let's take the Model D, turn off the internal sound here, and first see that it hasn't recognized the Kronos yet. Now we go to Settings, to MIDI. Sorry, I'm in the frame. So then I can apply the Kronos here as input and already, like that. It's very loud now. The sound, there's the volume, and I already have the Module Pro. It's also quite simple, so it is important that the iPad recognizes the cone. You can also do that in the settings. Then set which master keyboard you have, for example. If you have it on an iConnectivity or a CME Pro where you have multiple devices connected. And that's it. I hope this helped you a bit. If you have any questions about it, if something was too fast or something is missing, then feel free to reach out and write in the comments.